Yo, what's up, everybody? Good to be back. Happy Monday, kicking off another week. A little bit of a late start. The tech OBS has been just straight up fucking with me lately. So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully we don't have issues today. Could not get the stream to connect, but we're good now. So let's call out as many of you as I can. And let's get going here. So Lino Vincent, Truth Teller 101, Phyllis B, Lucy Anders, Q Boys. What's up, guys? Good to see you in the mosh pit on Rumble, Spiky999, Liberty's Great Awakening. Good to see you guys over there. Hope you're having a good day so far. Thank you for being here. Hit that thumbs up button, share the link. Shout out to our fam on pilled.net, the home of free speech, the exclusive spot to watch the second half of today's broadcast. And Delia in there first. Oh, Method's birthday today. Happy birthday to M3, an OG. Hope he's doing well. Have not heard from our boy Methods in quite a while, but have to reach out to him soon. HL Paco, good to see you. D Richard in the house. Harley Quinn, good to see you out there. We got Floyd Due Diligence in the house. Lance Lightspear, good to see you. Patriot 714, Ken Chris, what's up, guys? Truth Teller 101, R Harold, Kim Iowa, fired up today. Love to see it. Facts Not Fear, welcome. Due Diligence says a Monday thick cut bison steak cookie. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Barb Robbins, great to see you. Cali Patriot 14, Range Pony and Tweety 52. What's good? Spiky 999. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. How are you today? Running Patriot, Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. We got I Find It out there. What's up, brother? Pip's mom checking in from across the pond over in Wales, UK. Good to see you, Pip. Kim Iowa says call your representatives about the Senate shit show. Pushback is needed. It's unbelievable what they're trying to do right now in the Senate. We've got some really, really shitty people in the Republican Party, and something needs to be done about it for sure. HL Paco, Brendan Gowerly, Norm, Hang 10, what's up, man? Dangleberry out there as well. Amos, Filter Dog 1, good to see you, brother. Cynthia, good to see you as well. John Smith in the house. Clover Lily, what's up, Clover Lily? Great to see you. Michael V. And Nezercat out there checking in from Wyoming. Good to see you, Nezercat. Joshua Tree 321. Welcome, welcome. We got Quilton on and Paul Thaddeus hanging out. Lance 79, thank you so much for the cam. Boys Blanc says, I'm calling Amazon and getting more seats for the live studio audience. Credit card number, please. Yeah, you have to talk to me offline. But thank you for the cookie, Lance. Thank you for the can. Secret Weapon. Mad Joker, A from PA in the house as well. What's going on, guys? Yes, happy birthday to M3 Methods, our brother. Hope you're doing well. If you're out there lurking in the background, Methods, much love, my friend. Glass Wanda, Crockett Man 62, Zenit, Kimha, Boys Blog. Thank you for the can. Great to see you. This is can for the birthday boy Methods. Right on. Very cool. FVT, Leanna Wilbert in the house is on full alert. I like that. That's pretty good. Sigurd Dragon Slayer, welcome. Jeff Den and bassist, Las Vegas. What's up? Says my band played down on the strip this weekend. What is it? I can only imagine. I'm just so grateful that everything went off without anything like tragic happening. I had a horrible feeling about yesterday, and I'm glad I was wrong. Very, very glad I was wrong. Roy Stones and Bones, good to see you as well. Checking in from the West Coast. Let's go. All right, we'll play the intro, get this thing going. We got a great show for you guys today. We got Scott DeGroat of Woke Society is going to be joining the panel. Should be an absolute blast. All right, without further ado, let's get this intro going. We'll be back in just a few minutes. What's up, Tom Ford? Good to see you, dude.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
y'all for tuning in. Patriots united, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted to MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult Nero is the power that's controlling the fight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight, but I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only and advised to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right knowing they're wrong. Adult Nero, take the mic and take flight to the song.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adult Nero.
All right, everybody, let's get this week going. Happy Monday. Thank you guys for joining us for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adult Nero. It's February 12th, 2024. I've got my OG TN Homesteader riding shotgun with me today. What's up, TN? How's your week going so far? I hope it's off to a good start.
It is. It is off to a rainy start, but good. Nothing. No trees have fallen. I went down the driveway, so that's a good thing. Bunch of little branches, but nothing catastrophic like I've been experiencing so far this year.
Come on, don't act like you don't like a good excuse to bust out one of your 5 chainsaws and
yeah.
Punishment.
I love the smell of chainsaw, or rather bar oil in the morning. Yeah, but it's fun. I have to, the funny part is I have a steel and a Husqvarna, and they're, not all chainsaws are the same. And it's like every time I go to the steel, I gotta, okay, now remind me of this. Gotta remember this one. Because they have different, the Husqvarna has a little priming pump. They operate differently, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man. That's why I like getting everything the same. That's why all my vehicles are the same. That's why.
Oh, I mean, you could always, one breaks down, or you need parts. You can move parts from one to another. There's a lot of advantages to keeping things.
Oh yeah, that's why I got the filters, the oil. Some of the oil filters in there, hydraulic and stuff. Filters are interchangeable between the tractor, the RTV, and the lawnmower, and so that is also a savings. They all have the same transmission style. They all have the same. They're all diesel, so that kind of deal.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, I'm glad you're here, Tien. We got plenty to get into today. Let's jump over to Drunk Pinata next. Pinata, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. Hang on. Foxhole just switched over to the other one, so I got to find the source. Okay. It jumped over to your show.
Oh, all good.
So, okay.
Alright. Double lock.
Yeah. Okay. So that's weird. Okay, but it's doing it. So they're tearing their hair out over this, and he seems to do this. And I don't know. This one I think he meant to do, but there's another one that I haven't seen them light their hair on fire yet over. When he got questioned after the Supreme Court uh, showing, he had said, well, the insurrection, well, I don't call it an insurrection. If it was an insurrection, Nancy Pelosi calls it. It's from Nancy Pelosi was the reason for an insurrection. So that's what he said, but the lefties on Twitter and otherwise are jumping on it. I haven't seen MSNBC and CNN jump on that, which is interesting. So I wonder if they're trying to keep that in a little back pocket for their little for their trial to be like, well, Trump categorized it as an impeachment, or I'm sorry, as an insurrection. I mean, come on, all these things are all interchangeable at this point. But now they're tearing their hair out over this NATO thing, and they're saying, and this is the most ridiculous thing I think you can think of, or that I've heard, that I've seen in a while.
But I did want to ask you, former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, to react to Donald Trump's comments where he effectively invited Russia to invade NATO countries that may not have given as much to NATO as they are asked to.
John, you can't put enough adjectives on this to describe how treasonous such a comment is.
That
Oh,
that he appears. He appears in the latest round of the 2024 election insurrection, right? Wesley Clark. Yeah.
What do you mean?
There's a movie that is
okay
out where he's in it.
Isn't that hilarious? Because I mean, I think a lot of people, like I pointed this out on my show, it's like people remember the whole Wesley Clark clip of him being like, and not necessarily, I'm just saying a neutral position on him from a lot of people's 9/11 research, right? Because he's the guy that said, oh yeah, we had this guy, it was coming in, and we have a plan. We're gonna bomb 7 countries. We're gonna do all this stuff. Remember, that's the guy.
Yep.
So it just kind of shows that, even if some people say something nice one time, it's like you got to keep an eye on everybody. These people they're just like I said, I don't think I had a favorable view on him. It's just he said something that was insightful one time. People hold on to that. They hold some sort of emotional attachment on it, and this is why you have to be able to be movable and that kind of thing.
Yep. And it cracks me up what he said about treason is because. And notice they don't play what Trump said, at least in what you've shown.
Well,
Trump,
no, they did play it.
But Trump said nothing of the sort.
Well, he said that. Well, do you want me to play the clip?
What he said was, if they don't,
hang on.
Yeah, that the U.S. wasn't going to defend them.
This is exactly what he said.
One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, I remember him saying that.
Right. So, I mean, this is him in a recent rally saying what he said as president. And then what did they do? They ponied up the deal, or they ponied up the money. And the whole point of what he was saying is that, look, NATO is the United States. Let's not get this. Your money does nothing here. We're doing the heavy lifting. We're actually putting troops on the ground. We're actually doing that. I disagree with that. I don't think we should be doing that. But the point is what he was arguing. That's what I'm trying to iterate here.
Yeah.
And it's very clear that NATO would not exist if it was not for the United States. And that's what he was trying to say. Just literally pay what you're supposed to pay, and then we can have an agreement.
Yep. It's not.
That is the agreement.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. The most basic things of an agreement. That's it.
Yeah, it's not treasonous or even disrespectful. No. We're being disrespected as a country at every turn by our quote unquote allies. And all Donald Trump wants is for them to hold up their end of the bargain. And the mainstream is losing their mind over it.
Over everything.
Yeah. Let's
I think he's baiting them.
Oh, it's 100% bait. We'll talk about this. This is gonna be one of the big topics today. So let's welcome in our special guest, Scott DeGroat of Woke Societies. What's up, Scott? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Thanks. I was a little late there. My my kids ransacked my computer. I had 100 tabs opened up and some random camera app on my computer. So thanks for filling in there real quick for me. I got it all figured out, I think. But I'm here, man. Great to hang out with you guys.
Yeah, man, it's great to have you. I'm not gonna lie, I came this close to canceling the show today myself because I couldn't get OBS to connect properly.
Dude, I've been having so many OBS problems.
Yeah,
lately. Yeah, man.
I used to throw my hands in the air and
Do you
say,
guys need like Ozempic or something? Like, is that irritable bowel syndrome? I'm like, sometimes it feels that way. I don't know. I've been pretty good with mine. I haven't had. Did you guys upgrade recently? Maybe I should steer away from it.
I updated. Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't upgraded in over a year.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
When something works, I don't touch it, but I might need to now because the last couple of times I've tried to go live, it's like it's not connecting. It's giving me like 50 kilobytes per second, and the video feed gets all choppy on all the platforms. It happened to me on Saturday morning. It really screwed up the beginning of the show, and it was happening again today. Fortunately, I tried to start a bit early, and I was able to mess with it and got it going. But yeah, I was this close to just throwing my hands up in frustration and just saying, "Fuck it, we'll just catch up tomorrow." But glad I didn't. Glad we're here, Scott. I'm glad you're here, man. We got a ton of stuff to get into and talk about. But before we jump into anything too deep, I'm just going to go ahead and take care of our sponsors, so we can sail right through after that. And our first sponsor is Earth Garden Botanicals, amazing company run by Jolene up in Montana. She's amazing, herbalist, health coach, patriot. Wonderful products like the pine needle extract, a concentrated version of the pine needle tea. Great for detoxing the body. You've got your CBD and hemp products. All the ingredients for those are locally and organically grown on small Montana farms. The value for the price is unbelievable. On the tinctures, the flavors are delicious. Flavors like orange ginger, bergamot, peppermint, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, cherry. Even the unflavored one is really good because it's so pure and clean. You can just taste the herb. There's CBD oil for pets, which is great. The Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies will give you a good night's sleep. And then there's a topical cream and arnica salve with CBD infused or without, really good for sore joints and muscle pain. Check out the elderberry tonic to boost your immune system, the fire cider to help clear your sinuses if you're feeling stuffed up. I mentioned tea. There's 4 amazing teas to choose from. If you like drinking tea, go check those out. Try them all. They're all delicious. They all do a little something different. I'll let you guys look into those when you go and shop the website. And then, of course, the critter juice, the all-natural insect repellent to help keep the mosquitoes and insects away. Doesn't smell bad, doesn't leave you feeling oily and gross on your skin. It's all natural. It's fantastic. There's a version of the product for you and for your pets. So go check out all these amazing products. Use promo code 412 for 10% off your order. Say hi to Jolene for us. She loves you guys. She loves this community, and we absolutely love her. Again, earthgardenbotanicals.com, promo code 412 for 10% off your order. Our other sponsor today are the amazing people over at Integral Networks, integralnetworks.com. Integral Networks is a third-party IT provider. They're located up in the Northwest. They serve the entire country. They're America First Patriots, and they do an amazing job helping companies, businesses, organizations of all sizes save time, effort, and money on their IT needs. And they have a lot of really great products and services to help you do that, whether it's cybersecurity, data backup, and recovery. If you need help installing Cisco devices, if you have like a big commercial network that can help consult and walk you through that, that's not easy to do. I actually have a tiny bit of experience in doing that in the past, and we definitely needed consulting when we were trying to figure that out. So they offer basically everything you'd expect the help desk to do in an office building without having to build out all that infrastructure on your own. They also offer a really cool product called the Integral Secure Workspace, allowing you to set up a virtual desktop, a virtual work environment for your users to log in and use with their devices. So rather than carry around your data or do the work locally on their machines. They log into the server, everything's right there for them. You, as the administrator, get to control software and applications from a central place. So that makes things really efficient and easy. And most importantly, your company data never needs to leave the secure server because your employees are logging in and accessing it rather than carrying it around on their local machines. So it's safer, it's more efficient. It makes administration way easier and simpler as well. And it's just a great product. So go check out integralnetworks.com. Or you could give them a call at 916-545-7646 and just let them know that you learned about them at 412 Production. So integralnetworks.com and earthgardenbotanicals.com are our two sponsors for today's show. Big thank you to the sponsors. And yeah, awesome. So we just saw Trump's comments about NATO and them paying their share fare. He also said that US should not be the stupid country anymore. I thought that was a pretty funny way of putting it, because it is. I mean, we on the backs of our taxpayers just give away all this money. We don't get equal reciprocation from our quote unquote allies. And it's because we have corrupt politicians making these deals. They don't really care about our taxpayers. They don't really care if we're getting our money's worth or getting any kind of reciprocation from our allies. So they take their kickbacks. They do what's best for them. We end up holding the bag on this shit. Donald Trump is the only president that we've had that has actually cared that these companies pay their part of the deal and that we're not just being completely taken advantage of. John Pinata played the clip of what Donald Trump said about saying that, no, we won't protect you. In fact, I'll even encourage Russia to do whatever they want if you don't pay your deal. He says, we have an ocean between us and Russia. This affects Europe far more than it affects us. Why are we paying more than every other European country combined for this? He makes a lot of really good points. Scott, I know you were streaming the rally. I was actually tuning into your stream of the rally over the weekend. What did you think of President Trump's comments and the media's subsequent reaction of all of this, man? What's your take?
Yeah, I think it was one of his best speeches he's had in a while. He went for a long ass time too, which was always good. But yeah, as far as Trump was always in a position of why are countries leveraging us so much when we can leverage them just as much to our benefit instead of raping and pillaging the American citizens of our of our own country. And I thought it was interesting when he brought the whole loan tweet. Not that I think that's much better, but at least we'd be benefiting from it. But I think he's trying to at least show that, hey, if you guys want to shill for Ukraine and all these places, let's make some money on it for America while we're doing it. I don't know if it's the best approach, but I don't necessarily hate it. But his rally was pretty damn fiery. That was like 2 days ago. I'm still a little hungover from Super Bowl yesterday, so it's a little blurry. But besides that, dude, it was a fiery speech, and it was really, really good. So that's going to be Trump's approach, I think, going all the way into November and showing the American people, hey, you guys see it now. You see the policies that I had, and my shit worked way better than the one that's currently in there. So he's going to keep bringing that fire, man. And also, other interesting point, I'm sure you guys saw this as well, was JD Vance, right? Pointing out that Congress is trying to basically, I saw Rich Barrett say this too, is codifying their corruption. And basically saying if they pass whatever current bill they're trying to do now, if Trump gets in and he stops anything to Ukraine, they're going to basically impeach him and kick him out as president. They are basically saying we're going to be codifying our corruption at this point. It's fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, so let's talk about that here. First, I want to read Trump's statement. You referenced this. So let's go and take a quick little half step back. So it's from this point forward. Are you listening, U.S. Senate? No money in the form of foreign aid should be given to any country unless it's done as a loan, not just a giveaway. It can be loaned on extraordinarily good terms, like no interest and unlimited life, but a loan nevertheless. The deal should be contingent that the U.S. is helping you as a nation. But if the country we are helping ever turns against us or strikes it rich sometime in the future, the loan will be paid off and the money returned to the United States. We should never give money anymore without the hope of a payback or without strings attached. The United States of America should be stupid no longer. And I think this is a good step in the right direction. I agree with you. Even the loan, if it is a loan, it should have payments. It shouldn't just be in infinitum until they strike it rich, or until they turn on us or whatever. There should be a clear and set and time oriented plan to pay back that loan. In my opinion, we need to cut off these countries. We need to focus inward on our own problems. But I guess baby steps towards these common sense things, right? We're so used to just giving money away to everybody. You probably have to take this one small step at a time to get to some form of normalcy in the way we manage our foreign aid. But yeah, I completely agree with you, Scott. I don't know if this is the best way either, but definitely better than what the country's been kind of programmed to accepting all these
Well,
years.
it's just simple common sense, right, dude? Like if you were loaning money to a friend, like say someone wanted 10 grand, right? Like I need help. And you're like, okay, listen, I got the money. I'll help you. You don't need to pay me back. So they give you the 10 grand and then they come back and ask you for another 10 grand. And it keeps happening. And common sense would be, well, what did you get out of that first 10 grand that I sent you? Like there is no accountability of what has that previous dollar amount. What is produced from it? There is zero of that from, coming out of our leaders in Congress. There's none of that. So it's just like, how can they just keep doing this over and over and over again? And the American people are just sitting here watching it. Like it's really disgusting, man. And I'm at the point where I just I don't even want to see the amount anymore. I don't want to hear about it. And, and it's tax season. And I'm like, do I really have to pay these motherfuckers? You know what I mean? It's just disgusting.
It's absolutely infuriating. You're right, especially this time of year when we're all about to open up our pocketbooks and be extorted by the federal government for this money that they're just going to continue to give away without really our consent at all. Let me go. Floyd just sent something into the chat here that JD Vance had tweeted. So let me bring this up and we'll see what we got. So JD Vance, I just sent a memo to every one of my Republican colleagues in Congress. Buried in the bill's text is an impeachment time bomb for the next Trump presidency if he tries to stop funding the war in Ukraine. So let's take a look at this. So the background: President Trump was wrongfully impeached by the partisan Pelosi-led House of Representatives on December 18th, 2019. At the core of the impeachment was a pause on funds appropriated to Ukraine: $391 million in security assistance, $250 million through the Department of Defense, Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, and $141 million through the State Department's Foreign Military Financing Program. The false argument put forward by Democrats was as follows: as President Trump had allegedly paused these funds because he wished to see corrupt nexus between the Biden family and Ukraine investigated. President Trump had abused his power with the aim of interfering with the U.S. presidential election. Page 425 of the committee report on the first impeachment states the president froze military assistance to Ukraine against U.S. national security interests and over the objections of career experts. The impeachment inquiry report states the president did so despite the longstanding bipartisan support of Congress, uniform support across federal departments and agencies for the provision to Ukraine of the military assistance, and his obligation under the Impoundment Control Act. The supplemental impeachment time bomb: President Trump has said in regard to the war in Ukraine, we've got to get the war settled and I'll get it settled. He has stated that he would resolve the war in 24 hours. The bill includes $1.6 billion for foreign military financing in Ukraine and $13.7 billion for the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative. These funds expire on September 30th, 2025, nearly a year into the possible second term of President Trump. These are the exact same accounts President Trump was impeached for pausing in December 2019. Every single House Republican voted against this impeachment resolution. If President Trump were to withdraw from a pause financial financial support for the war in Ukraine in order to bring the conflict to a peaceful conclusion over the objection of career experts, whatever the hell that is, it would amount to the same fake violation of budget law from the first impeachment under markedly similar facts and circumstances. Partisan Democrats would seize on the opportunity to impeach him once again. The Washington Post has reported that tying President Trump's hands on foreign policy is very much top of mind for the Biden administration officials who are openly boasting about their plans. The background quote is damning. Not incidentally, a U.S. official said the hope is that long-term promise, again, assuming congressional buy-in, will also future-proof aid for Ukraine against the possibility that former President Donald Trump wins his re-election bid. The conclusion, the supplemental represents an attempt by the foreign policy blob/deep state to stop President Trump from pursuing his desired policy, and if he does so anyways, to provide grounds to impeach him and undermine his administration. All Republicans should oppose its passage. So there's the memo sent out by J.D. Vance. I believe he made an appearance on Charlie Kirk or War Room or somewhere today talking about this as well. So we've seen this now twice, Scott. We saw this with the Invasion Authorization Act, where they basically tried to codify the invasion at the southern border, which would have really tied President Trump's hands in, doing things like remain in Mexico or finishing the wall or, mass deportations. It would have made it much, much harder for him to get that done if Congress would have made law that Invasion Act. And now you're seeing the same thing with foreign aid. There's a major fear of Donald Trump getting back into office. You could see it in the way they're writing these bills. And what's disgusting to me is you have about a third of the Republican senators that are all too eager to help the Democrats neuter a new Trump administration. Speak to the bill itself a little bit, and then the just disgusting behavior from the Mitch McConnell, the Chuck Grassley's, and all these people who continue to push this bullshit.
Yeah, dude, this is exactly what I was just mentioning. This is them letting the world know that, if Trump does come in here, we're going to try to subvert him before he's even in already. And I've been saying this on my show for a while now. Like, everyone's trying to figure out, what are they going to throw a pandemic at us? Are they going to do some natural disaster, use that as an excuse to not have elections? There's so many theories out there. And what I'm seeing more and more of, more indicators of, is that I do believe Trump's going to win on election night, and the coup attempt is going to be after November, in the days of January. And this was mentioned recently, I think, on Bannon's War Room with the guy that just had cancer. I can't remember, Raskin. He was basically saying that we understand that the Supreme Court's Trump's probably going to win that all these cases with Jack Smith, they're not looking good. Fani Willis isn't looking good. And basically saying that we will do everything we can in January with the new House coming in, that we're going to get rid of Trump via Congress, like the Constitution says we do. And that, I think, is the play here. And like we just saw with this bill, it seems like they're gonna, again, I don't think they can allow Trump. They can steal it like they did last time without massive backlash, especially seeing the numbers of Biden right now. All the concerns about his health in general, not even if he's a good president, but just him as a health problem in general. It's a huge issue now, and the media got their dog whistle, and now they're all pushing it. And Corinne, you see Corinne, she cannot contain it. She's getting so angry, just feeling these questions now over the place. But my whole point with all that is I think they're trying to already plant the seeds that, okay, you guys might win election night, but we're going to do everything we can to subvert Trump the moment he gets in, and they're already doing it now. Mitch McConnell sees the writing on the wall, dude. I think his days are numbered. He's just like another Joe Biden. His health is just as bad, if not worse. The dude's stroking out on camera, just like Biden does on a pretty normal basis. It's insane. And I think these people are trying to cling to power for as long as they can. So you have those, and then you have the ones that understand Trump is most likely going to be president again, and they're getting ready for it. So, I don't know how Trump combats that. I don't know his messaging for that, but that's what I'm seeing as far as the patterns of behavior right now. They're going to try to subvert him before he even gets into the seat again.
The days are numbered, Scott, for sure, but Mitch McConnell still holds some influence over the Republican Party. I think you can still see that in Donald Trump's endorsement of Sheehy in Montana over Matt Rosendale.
Yeah.
Kim Iowa called into the Saturday show and was, basically, calling out the endorsement because he's a McConnell guy. He's taking money from the McConnell super PACs. He's the one that the McConnell faction in the Senate wants coming out of Montana, and Donald Trump is endorsing him. There still seems to be horse trading going on with McConnell and his squad and Donald Trump. I don't believe for a second Donald Trump really prefers a Sheehy over a Matt Rosendale, but there's still some kind of give and take going on there. At what point do we finally vanquish this rhino neocon segment of the Republican Party? I mean, we seem to be doing a pretty good job in the House, at least using the influence we've built there to put up a firewall and be able to push back a tiny bit, although I'd like to see more. The Senate just seems like a lost cause, man. It's so bad. There's so few actual fighters and America First people there. Even the ones we have aren't really even all that impressive. I really can't name one that I completely trust through and through. And like I said, you still see that influence that the establishment, the donor class, the corporate influence has over the Republican Party, and unfortunately, some of the leverage they still hold over Donald Trump. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know if we will ever get like a fully America First, House and Senate. It's going to take a long time to get there, I think, at this point, and I think that's pretty obvious. So I see what you're saying. Like, even when I see Anna Paulina, she put out a part of the bill about, again, I think it was sending money to Ukraine in some kind of capacity still, and people are like, "Bitch, like, what are you doing? Like, we cannot be having this, any kind of shillery at all, any kind of compromise with any of this at all." So, I mean, I don't know if we can really truly ever get that fully America First. And if we do, it's going to take a long time, dude. But the Senate, dude, the Senate's even harder, like you said. So this is why I'm getting to a point, like, is after Trump's gone, I don't know. Like, I really don't know what it's going to look like. Is this going to carry on? I'm not sure, dude. I'm really not sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely there's a long road ahead of us, especially when it comes to the Senate, because those statewide races require so much money, especially the way the Democrats, are able to fundraise. How ingratiated they are to the big donors and the massive amounts of money they're able to raise from big donors. They're able to flood the TVs with their ads. They're able to pretty much spend any amount of money they need to. They're not above the ballot harvesting, the shady election practices, the straight up fraud. For a Republican to win those statewide races, it takes quite a lift. And when you don't have the backing of any of these big money people, it's really hard to get a grassroots person across the finish line in a statewide race. And I think that's why Donald Trump plays this game with these rhinos and will endorse people that were like, but that doesn't make sense. He's not the guy that represents our values the best,
Yeah, yeah. Did you see what's his name, McCarthy? Did you see McCarthy was at Trump's Vegas speech?
No, I missed that.
Dude, I posted a video on my Telegram. It was last week. McCarthy was spotted like looking like a little pedo dude in his little black outfit, just like hanging out in the back. And I'm like, what is this dude doing back here? You know what I mean? And I bring that up because, to your point about you need the entire Republican infrastructure, right, to really get people in a position to win. And if you still have the old neocon, regiment still in the system, you're already fighting an uphill battle, because it's already hard enough to beat the cheating, right? All the Democrats, and you have to beat with everyone inside your own party that's trying to subvert you as well. When I saw that the story about McDaniel being replaced or stepping down, I'm like, okay, this is good. This is hopefully the beginning of getting the rot out of the party, right? And I see, and then the next thing I know, I see fucking Kevin McCarthy hanging out in the back of Trump's speech in Vegas, and I'm just like, is he still Trump's guy? Is he? Because everyone says the same thing. Everyone says the same thing about him, right? Al? He's very good at fundraising.
Yeah.
Does that make him RNC chair worthy when this dude and like Matt Gaetz are at odds with each other, and then he leaves, and then I don't know, man. I don't know where that's gonna go, but I think it's yeah.
Matt Gaetz even said, Kevin McCarthy would make a good RNC chair because of his fundraising. Like, I think Matt Gaetz was the first one to even like take it there. So it's
Yeah.
like fundraising is one thing. Like, great, he knows how to get on his knees in front of the special
Right.
interest and work them for every dollar. But then what he does with that money after, right? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
he was head of the RNC chair. Fine, you fundraise, but he gets no say in how that money is distributed. Then you need a fire-breathing America First person acting as treasury or something or other, CFO. I don't know what the right title is. I'm not that smart, but someone that actually is strategic in strategic control of how that money is distributed. We can't have what we've had before, where you have like Ronna McDaniel going around in 2020 simultaneously raising money off of donors for election integrity, while at the same time, right, sending cease and desist letters to Trump's lawyers trying to stop them from challenging the election that was stolen. So yeah, right. I agree. Kevin McCarthy would be great at raising the money, but I mean, I don't know about you, Scott. I don't want Kevin McCarthy deciding how that money's spent, because that's not going to go well for us.
I don't know. You think Kevin McCarthy is gonna be putting money in the voting rolls machine? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess maybe anything's better than spending 300 grand on fucking flowers and limousines, right? It's disgusting. But dude, I really hope, I really hope that that I guess McDaniel leaving, because I think so she basically put out that letter, right, saying that I'm not stepping down, and then it says basically we'll see what happens after South Carolina. And I'm like, okay, that's the giveaway. She's gonna probably step down. Trump's gonna landslide, and then I'm hoping he's putting his people, not Rhino's, his people at that position. I know everyone says Scott Pressler. Love Scott Pressler. The dude's awesome, but I don't. Everyone, all the people that I look up to as far as smarter than me in this, in politics, they said he's great, but he's not like RNC, like worthy, I guess. Or there's a lot of other things than just registering voters that go into that. You have to have a lot of connections. You have to know a lot of people. There's a lot that goes into it. So whoever Trump decides to pick, it's got to be better than Ron McDaniel, dude. And I do have faith in that.
All right. Well, whoever it is that they pick, I agree. I don't know if Scott Pressler has the experience to really hold that position, but like at least return Scott Pressler's phone call, right? Like apparently, like I've heard many times, Scott Pressler can't even get Ronna McDaniel to acknowledge his existence, right? This guy's doing more for the Republican Party with no but. Like, I'm not saying make him RNC chair, but look at him, learn from him, find other people to replicate what he's doing, and dump some serious resources into this kid, and have him create an army of Scott Presslers that are all over these swing states, getting the vote out, getting registration, and the states where ballot harvesting is legal, have an army of Scott Presslers harvesting ballots. In states where it's not, have an army of Scott Presslers chasing ballots, right? Use data. I'm a big data guy. It drives me nuts. Like, you can look at the voter rolls and look at the voting history and identify the voters that are going to show up on election day, the voters who might, the voters who are unlikely to, right? And then you could have different style campaigns to maximize on all of those. Some people, all you need is a little reminder, they're going to be there. Some people, you might need to hit 3, 4 times, 5 times in the month of October with some kind of promotional material to motivate them to get out. You might need to go knock on their door, whatever it is, but they have that data available, and they could develop the manpower necessary to maximize on that information and really mitigate the difference that is created through these mail-in ballot, early voting, absentee voting leads that Democrats build up with these new voting mechanisms. We don't do enough, especially on college campuses. I feel like that's a place where we just kind of concede to the left, right? Like
I'm
what
glad I'm
what
glad you brought that up, dude. That was the one thing I forgot to mention when you brought up Trump's rally. All the young kids. Did you notice that behind him?
I didn't really pay that close attention to like the demographic behind him at all. No, so go ahead.
There was even with America Real Voice, all the alternative like media MAGA news outlets, they were outside just interviewing who was there. And it was I think it was right near or either next to or part of a college campus, but it was most of the people that were being interviewed there were young college kids wearing MAGA hats. And even behind Trump, it was probably one of the youngest audiences I've ever seen standing behind him. And to me, that was very encouraging because I feel like, that's not really the case even in our own stream. Sometimes we don't have like the TikTok kids, like I don't feel like that's not really our demographic, right? But it should be. There should be no reason why they shouldn't be listening to these shows and watching this kind of content because their futures, just like even us, even our age, with our generation, it's tough to looking to get a house, even for myself right now, it's fucking laughable. And I'm looking at these young college kids, I'm like, you guys are even more fucked than we are. So this is why it's so important that you guys understand what's happening. And seeing that with Trump was definitely a good pick me up. And I think it's going to scare the shit out of the Biden administration for sure.
Now I've seen polls showing that we're doing better with the 18 to 35-year-old range.
Yeah.
And I could certainly see how that's starting to happen. What do we do though, like on college campuses specifically? Because I feel like they're, as far as like the ballot harvesting in these states that have the drop boxes, they created a whole new voting demographic. I've talked about this a few times on the show, where typically college students you can't really count on to go out and vote on election day, but if you put a little box on campus, give them 60 days to go dump their ballot in there, and then flood them with TikTok and Instagram campaigns where you're hitting. I mean, all of a sudden now that demographic where you're getting maybe, I'm just making up numbers, 15% of them to show up on election day. Now you're getting 65, 70% of them at some point over a 60-day period to go drop a ballot. That's a lot of new votes to contend with. They're constantly being slammed with liberal propaganda and indoctrination through the education itself. I mean, 95% of these faculty are liberal. And then, of course, the social media platforms are on, and the TikTok and the Instagrams and whatnot. That's 85% liberal. I feel like I don't even have a strategy in my head. Like, do you have any thoughts on how we get in there and take some of that back, or win some of these kids back over? Like, what can the RNC do? Like, if you were chair of the RNC, what would you do? How would you invest funds into winning over college students?
Dude, it would just be blasting, you have to meet these kids where they're at. That means social media. And unfortunately, that means a lot. Unfortunately, it means a lot of TikTok. I'm sure there's other things they're on too and using, but TikTok seems to be like the number one thing that these kids live on nowadays. And there's no reason why the RNC can't flood TikTok with Trump policies and things talking about families and homes, and you want better interest rates, talking about getting a school debt. Maybe you don't have to go to school. Maybe you can do other things besides go to college and, get out of that rat race that's going to put you in debt ultimately. That's what I would really be hitting on, because at least when I was in school, that's what we were told. This is how you do it. You go to school, you get your diploma, and then if you want to go to college, you go to college and you work fucking 4 or 5 jobs and hope that piece of paper that you just got $100,000 or more in debt for pays off. And I'm just like, to me, the kids that are the generation. I know a lot of people pick on Gen Z, but they're extremely smart for not all of them. Some of them are, but a lot of them, they fucking get it. And I know that because my sister's in that generation, and my brother-in-law, they started so many businesses, and they're fucking killing it. And they didn't go to college. They have that entrepreneurial spirit about them, and they're fucking doing great. And there's no reason why that cannot be. That to me would be a freedom. That'd be my freedom messaging to the younger generation. Like, you don't have to go through the slog that your parents and the generations before you walk through. There's
You know,
other
I think I'm
opportunities.
about what 4 or 5, 6 years ahead of you guys. And during my high school, it was like they're like vocational. Oh, what's that? It's like, oh, that's like they
Yeah.
kind of dismiss it. It was very dismissive, but
Yes.
really, I think if I would have done it all over again, I probably would have done something like that. I
Yeah.
do like where I ended up now, but that was through a lot of going through a lot of different things and not necessarily even using the degree I have and degrees that I have to the fullest that they are now, or even using them.
Yes.
So it would be, those types of things like, putting that on. I think they needed to focus on at the time, and I think they were still kind of focusing on getting that piece of paper. When we were going through high school, was just get that piece of paper, push people to college, push them through. That's kind of where we're at in
Yep.
that early 2000s. That's kind of what they were trying to do. They were trying to bring up that next generation to college indoctrination, which kind of worked. And I think maybe now you're seeing a little bit of reversal of that, which is good. Push the entrepreneurial side of it, because you can go to a trade school and you can have a business almost immediately, 100 grand a year.
Exactly. It's to me, it is
And
like,
you're maybe not even doing the work. All you got to do is schedule it. You hire people.
right.
Expand a little bit, and then like you're just literally just it's a revenue stream.
It's so true. And that's why, like, when I'm talking, like, thinking about me and my wife talking about like my kids and homeschooling and stuff. It's a theme that comes up like with homeschool kids, that they're not going to get the education they need. And a great point that was made is, and it kind of debunks a lot of the bullshit around it. And it goes to what you were saying, that how much stuff do you actually remember from when you went to high school and elementary, like not the basic stuff, but anything in high school, really. Science, earth sciences, chemistry. You don't remember any of it. And this
Like,
is
no,
why I'm saying, in the digital age, with so many resources afforded to people, you don't have to go through that cycle. There's ways around it. And I told my wife, I'm going to do everything I fucking can to make sure that each of my boys have their own business. To me, that's the messaging, man, to answer your question. That's what I think Trump needs to hit. And the RNC, that's what I would be doing. You don't need to go through this bullshit anymore. You can do your own thing and a lot quicker be successful if you really put a drive into it.
yeah, I agree with that. I mean, the entrepreneurial American dream aspect of things, I feel like it's not something that's really even presented to many kids as an option, as they're going through the public school system. You're right, everyone's driven to go to college, go through the indoctrination, be a cog in the machine, and just try to carve out your little piece, which, I mean, that's the route I went, and I'm very happy like how I ended up too. But
Yeah.
I have still about 3 more years before I'm free and clear of my student loans. I'm 36 years old. Like
Yeah.
I took that loan out when I was 18. So
That's
it's gonna
crazy,
take
man.
me 20 plus years to finally clear that college debt and be done with it. So it's not ideal at all. And I do think there's an opportunity there to maybe win over some of the younger generation by presenting them a better path forward. This
Yeah.
just broke on my Twitter feed. Donald J. Trump is talking about endorsing Laura Trump for RNC co-chair, according to the New York Times. So I don't. That's the New York Times. Take it, with a grain of salt. But I don't know much about Laura Trump. Right? She's married into the family through Eric. Um, do you have any thoughts? Anybody here on the panel know enough about Laura Trump to know that would be a good move? Or I feel like anyone other than Ronna McDaniel's.
She's running an entire media campaign that's very successful. But we don't give it that much attention to. But she's got an entire media arm, the
Okay.
pro-Trump media arm.
How would that TN like? How would running is just like the ability to
You guys
run?
were just talking about it. You were talking about TikTok. See, the dilemma is not the message. The message is that it's the minute you start saying this is what you should do, not to the kids, to the
Right.
TikTok. So that's instant failure.
So shiny.
You have to go at it from this is what's happened. They've been told to go to college, and college will be your exit. Never guided as to how to achieve that higher education, whether it's truly college or and we call it vocational school, but it's not. It's a trades college. These are not vocational schools, they're trade colleges. They're focusing either on mechanics or something, et cetera, right? They are colleges. When I went to college, there was a bunch of guys that I hung out with that went to mechanics school and so forth. I was going to electronics engineering, right? So the dilemma is guiding them, and this is where she would come in, guiding them on how to make the choice, not what choice to make. The problem with the schools is they're taught today what to think, and we keep saying how to think. Well, that's exactly the case here. It's not what they need to do, is how they need to choose to do it.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely right, Tien. That's absolutely right. And her being the head of a major media organization, she probably would have some clever ideas as to how to use the resources available to actually effectively get that exposure to whatever the messaging is,
Right.
to these kids, right? And at least be able to present another side of this story, because right now it's so one-sided.
Well, that's because they're not taught how to fight. They're not taught how to fight a college professor that holds them by their proverbial genitalia for the grade.
Yeah,
Right. It's true.
Right? But they're not taught how to fight it.
right.
That's a perfect way to do it. Teach them how to fight it. They build up coalitions on helping them fight it. And that will permeate through the schools galore, because as we have seen by not only the Trump rally and the interviews that were behind it, there were a lot of kids that they were interviewing that were liberal or libertarian in thought, let's say, but they were curious. And they were going there because they were curious of this whole entourage that's around Trump. And I don't mean the people, I mean the whole, right?
Yeah.
The whole persona type of thing that goes on. And they're
But when
curious.
when you put those two things together with the curious, I think you can probably say, you can just go ahead and say grab 'em by the balls. And I think that covers most of the liberal institutions nowadays.
Yeah. Well, and so there's that. You know, that's so Lara Trump would not be bad. Besides, she rocks it. I mean, she's compared to Kimberly Guilfoyle, which I like as well, but not. And I don't mean for the role. I mean comparing the two wives, or the pseudo wife, Kimberly Guilfoyle, to Eric's wife. Laura has her shit together.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think Laura, given what she does now, could be a really smart move.
Yeah.
All right, so President Trump just made another truth post that's about NATO. I want to read that just because we were talking about it. After that, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go exclusively to pilled.net for the second half of today's show. Those of you guys watching on Rumble, YouTube, DLive, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, and Twitter, make sure you find us over on pilled.net. We've got the link in the Rumble description underneath the stream. Just pop open that descriptions, expand it on desktop, or click the little pill on mobile. You'll see the link there to jump on in. I'll put the link in the live chats as well for you guys to make it very easy. Or you just go to pilled.net on your browser. If you're on desktop, you'll see all the live channels on the left side of your screen. 412 Productions is where we're at. If you're on mobile, all the live channels are across the top of your screen, and you'll see our black and gold little logo up there. All you got to do is tap it, and you'll be right in and hanging out with us. So start finding your way over, because we are going exclusively there, shutting down all these other platforms in about 60 seconds or so. But I want to read this first before we go and do that. All right, so he says, I made NATO strong, and even the rhinos and radical left Democrats admit that. When I told the 20 countries that they weren't paying their fair share, that they had to pay up, and said, without doing that, you will not have the U.S. military protection. The money came rolling in. After so many years of the United States picking up the tab, it was a beautiful sight to see. But now, without me there to say you must pay, they are at it again. We are into helping Ukraine for more than $100 billion, more than NATO. We have nobody that they respect, and they insist on paying far less than we do. Wrong. NATO has to equalize, and now They will do that if properly asked. If not, America first, make America great again. Gotta love it. I love seeing Donald Trump stick up for the working Americans, sticking up for us and our tax dollars like no other president in my lifetime ever has. So it's extremely refreshing. I'm going to play a quick video here to help you guys find your way over to Pilled. We'll come back in 60 seconds, shut down the other platforms, and then read any gold pill chats that have come through. So if you want to get any donations in, now is a great time to do that. We'll see you guys in 60 seconds.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us. One last chance for you guys on Rumble, D Live, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, Twitter, and YouTube to find your way over. I promised the link. Let me throw that. Forgot to send that over here. There you go. It's in the Rumble chat. I'll throw it over on D Live as well for you guys. Boom. There you go. Again, or just go to pilled.net in your browser. It's really not hard to find the show. It's a great platform. It's getting better and better every day. And just wait until you see the next update when it comes out. It's going to be an absolute game changer. We're really, really excited. There's a lot of hard work being done behind the scenes. But it is now time to say goodbye to all of these other platforms. So if you're not going to come over to pilled.net for the second half, no worries. I hope you all have a great rest of your Monday afternoon. And I'll be back. We'll all be back. Me, TN, and Drunk Pinata. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time for another installment of Deplorable Discussion. So time to say goodbye to D Live, Rumble, Twitter. There goes YouTube.